Hi, welcome to another solo episode of the Hunyah Show. Today I'm going to be talking about my struggles. Now, I know everyone thinks that, okay, being a YouTuber is all about all that and whatever, just because you've seen my progress video and whatever, but that's not actually the case. I actually had a lot of struggles throughout my life, actually. So one of my first struggles was um when I was in school. I didn't always have the best grades. Believe me, I had like marks like that were like 60s or 50. And that wasn't even good until like I went to high school and I started getting 80s and 90s. And then but I got picked a lot actually when I was in school throughout. I still feel like that's still something with me. Like I've like in some parts of my life I felt like I was always like the one that's always alone. So I had that a lot. So because with me, I moved to a lot of schools throughout. And like luckily for university I didn't, for college I didn't, but for schools like I had like a lot of moving, so I have a lot of exposure to like different schools and stuff. So if you talk about my beginning struggles, like my struggles as a kid was always grades and always, not having too many friends. Because for some reason, every person who I be friends with will always just just think that they can just use me for whatever they want. And I had that a lot. It took me like I don't know, because either people thought I was smarter and all this because they thought I was quiet. But just because I was quiet doesn't mean that, okay, you could just go and say to me whatever you want. So I had that a lot. Like, particularly, I still remember that being a thing from when I was a kid. And then I still remember me moving to different schools. And then, like, I'm still in touch with a lot of people. They're on my Instagram, on my Facebook, they're on with me on WhatsApp and all these things. I know how to keep in touch with people and for different purposes. So, like, I got picked on a lot actually. Like, I don't know if you know that, but I've actually, like, I got, like, in some parts of my years before I was in college, I felt like I had been bullied a lot. And that was because no, they were mean girls that I know that who even tried to contact me later on Facebook and stuff when we got into college, but I didn't take their request because I didn't take their request. I just deleted their request, friend request, because I knew that they just wanted to figure out what I was doing. So I actually struggled with that a lot actually. Then because of that, the other struggle I had was with mental health. So it's like the other thing I had was like, yeah, self-esteem actually came in mental health in there. And then so I didn't know how to deal with girls that were being rude to me and stuff. Like although I made a lot of friends later on when I went to high school, but like some of the same ones that were rude to me in back in elementary and middle, they were still rude to me even now. So I didn't bother with them, but it's like it was hard. So the other thing I had so yeah, bullying was one of them because I got bullied a lot, and that was like throughout. Another thing was mental health. So it was about why I support mental health because I've actually had that with me while I was like in school a lot. Like I literally had to go and see a psychiatrist because that's how low my self-esteem was and I needed a little bit help in there. So I literally had to like I'm on medication too. Like with me, I had to take this medicine called Risperdal, which I just still take it now. And then not only besides that of being bullied, but even when it came to, I'm not gonna say who, even when it came to like in the family, like I had like one particular group of cousins who don't even consider me to be their cousin even now. And now I'm at this point that okay, if you don't consider me to be your cousin, I'm not gonna bother with you at all. Which I actually figured out I should have done that a lot earlier in all those struggles I was dealing with because I've noticed that sometimes even people that they know you, they still can't get their mind off of your stuff. And then, so that was one of the things I actually dealt with when it came to bullying and mental health and stuff. So another thing I dealt with, another thing I had struggled with was was with money, because every time I felt like I was earning, I felt like I used it up right away. Now, I don't know if it's because I have poor financial skills, or is it because I wasn't always good in math, but it's like I know how to put it to good use. It's just I'm not that good at spending. So not that it's an issue, but the time when it became an issue for me is when I had my accident back in 2013 when I graduated from college. That 1 year where I was supposed to pay my loan right away, I couldn't, so I had a struggle with that. Luckily, I'm paying my loan off now. Like that's what I'm doing. Like I paid off. I still have about some remaining in there. I'm not going to say why because that's confidential. But I had struggles in there too. And then some of my other struggles is okay, so how to get a job. So how to get a job, I remember like I applied to at least a billion jobs, like after college, during college, I actually had my first job that was event staff. And I'm still in touch with a few of the people in there, but not so much. But I'm still with a I still I still have an update from Humber College all the time. But what I don't mind going back to school either. Sometimes I feel like it's good to do some academic upgrading. So so my struggle was with job a lot. So that was actually one of my struggles because I couldn't find a job. No one was willing to take me. Another struggle I had was when it came into my personal life or my love life in a way. For some reason, that didn't work out with me. That I explained, I'm not going to say who. And I gave example of myself in my last solo episode of the Hunyah Show solo episode of wedding and marriages. I'm not going to get into detail about that. But overall, those were some of my struggles. My other struggle is um is that is with people expecting too much from me. I don't know why is that people all expect too much from me, but I don't, like, even from what I have right now and when I do my promotional material, that's coming out of my own pocket. So that's not like anyone in there. It's all my own work in there. It's not in any other way, but I don't know why it's taken like that. So let me show it to you here. Like, just give me a minute. Like this is like these are some of the things I have in mind for promotion material. Like I get that on it a lot, but it's like I kind of want to do it because I do this because I have a bigger idea of what I want to do. And what I notice as a YouTuber and artist, you're always going to be struggling. That's kind of a thing, some things I've gone to learn in another way. Like on that, okay, why do I have promotional material if I don't have too many subscribers? Well, if it's about that, having promotional material shouldn't always be about subscribers, and neither should your YouTube and Facebook and Instagram should be about likes and stuff. With me, I have about 20, just let me check on Instagram, like on my personal Instagram account, which I have it private for many reasons. So I don't open that up to everyone. So just So with me, I can show you. So with me, I have 2,060 followers, which you could see right here. This is what I have on my personal account, but again, at the same time, I don't have a lot of people. Like, I have some of my friends in there, and I have people in there I know, but most of them are really just other bloggers and other businesses. But again, it's not measured on likes. Like, I feel like on one thing as a YouTuber, people will always pressurize you on that, okay, that why do you have this video? Delete that, delete that. As something I struggled with, because I've always been the one that's always been picked on. I feel that's something I still get picked on even now, but it's on my, but it comes to my YouTube and whatever, being a social media influencer. Like, not that I'm calling myself an influencer, kind of at that level, but like even for my, like, this page, this is public because yes, this is a service, and it says you're a blogger and YouTuber, which according to Instagram, you can have a page on that. I didn't put there in YouTuber, although I should have, but I just kept it to blogger because I felt like, no, that's more original. So that's this. But again, it's like, it's 1,267. But again, that isn't measured on likes. It's just, I do it for a passion, and I do it because I like it. Like, for me, I always, if it's about struggle, about career, then here's the thing. Like, yeah, I actually want to go back and do upgrading, academic upgrading after when I was done with college. And that was like a few years later when I was struggling with job. But I couldn't because I had this whole financial aspect of my loan. So I was unable to do anything. And pretty much what I should have just done was, when I was recovering from my accident, use that money to pay off my loan. At that time, I felt like, okay, no, it's not gonna bother me. But no, actually, it did bother me later on. So it's not bothering me now. Like, I don't have like tons of like a lot of it paid off. I just have a little bit of it paid off. And no, for some reason people think it's always about earning. Is I don't have that much. Not that I'm crying over it. So that's one thing about it. Now, the one thing I've actually dealt with, a struggle that I have, besides for some reason, everyone I've noticed, like, there's literally aunties, there's literally like people I know that could be cousins or friends for some reason, even people I'm just getting to know, they're always ready to pick on me. Okay, why do I have this picture? Why do they think that whatever I do and whatever I've been doing is something that's to do with them, when it's not? It's my personal thing. Like, I don't like because I thought when I have a YouTube channel, it's supposed to mean creative freedom. But if you're doing that, that's not called creative freedom. If you're constantly going and trying to see that what video has this connection to you or whatever, when it's my content, my video, it's my thing. Like, that is not what YouTube is for. I thought when I signed up for it, it's creative freedom. But that's not called creative freedom if you don't let the other person make the videos that they want. Because unless it's YouTube community guidelines that say that, okay, you cannot have a video, then they have the authority to it. But some other person coming up to me and say that is not applicable. That's not how YouTube works. Because that's a violation, and that could be a violation of human right as well, the basic human right. That is one thing in there which I don't know how many people know about. And so that's currently one of my struggles I've dealt with. The other thing that's my struggle, that okay, just because I have a blog and YouTube channel, my story didn't start off with just having it, that, oh, I thought of one day. No, it actually took me a lot of thinking, and then I thought of having a YouTube channel. So that's one of the things. Like, how I actually started is because I had a lot of struggles. Like, I knew a lot about traveling. I had a lot about this. So I actually had a few suggestions. I thought about it. Then I thought, no, I'm going to start this because I know a lot about food. I know a lot about this. Like, I've noticed where I volunteer and stuff, people like to listen to what I say. Not I'm saying everyone is a friend to me there, because I know there's some that are not. I know some that could be like that are two-faced, but again, I told you I've dealt with like two-faces people like all my life, and I've always been picked on that. Not that I'm trying to make like a pick on like a big thing, because yeah, I've done a lot too, but I was never the best to begin with. I'm still not the best and the brightest even now. Still, I still have struggles. So another thing was that's how I started, because no, every time when I had applied for a job, I got rejected each time. And for some reason, the jobs that were on commission, people were ready to do the commission, people were ready to give me the commission job, but I didn't want to pay because I wasn't earning. So after like a really, really long time of this, for some reason, what I noticed is like people want to talk to me now when I'm doing this, but before people wouldn't talk to me even at all. So that's the one thing. Like if it's just for my YouTube channel, just because I have it, then you shouldn't be talking to me for that reason. Unless you actually want to talk to me that is more than the YouTube channel, I'm more than happy to it. But if it's just that so you could take advantage and stuff, I've dealt with that before socially a lot with a lot of people. So it's a long list. I'm not going to say who are the names, because I dealt with that pretty much all my life of everyone just taking their thing into mind. But what I remember reading from Pure Ego Studies is that particularly if you do it on someone's thing, because I recently got to know that, and I've recently been dealing with that for a couple of months, that okay, when I work with you, I can do the work when you do. But when I say I have a my thing, then that is supposed to be my thing. It's supposed to be my creative freedom on that. And on top of that, if it's my thing, then yes, I can also have a legal battle with you that whose is Hunyah's travel blog and YouTube channel. But if it's about all the legal documentation, everything, because everything is supposed to be documented, what I do as a part of the thing as a blogger and YouTuber. So I have that listed. But how many things of mine do you have? You don't. So just to tell you, and just to be clear, Hunyah Travels is open to collaborate. I'm open to do videos and stuff, but I will not be I'm not going to be changing this Hunyah Travels into some other name at any time. And just because I'm not under anyone, this is like, I have a disclaimer, this is my creation, that is my intellectual and soul property. No one will be taking it. No matter how much you want to, I am not open to that at any time. Because that thing I've dealt with all my life, and clearly I didn't have like the best. I wasn't always the best, and always I had people problem. I always had like people had problem with me, that I remember even when I was a kid, girls would literally come up to me, and like literally I had a few that I thought they might even, they would start taking a pencil from me and that with me. And that was just then. That time I was like a 10-year-old kid. And then for some reason I didn't know, so I didn't know how to stand up to myself. And for some reason they'd be rude, and then they'd be like, "Oh yeah, we're your friends." Okay, that's not how it works. We got to know that later on, that okay, that's not even friendship. So I stopped giving people away my things, because that time it was just over a pencil. Now this is not over a pencil. This is over a big thing, which I remember because luckily I have the background in there that no, this platform, this thing, Hunyah Travels, it belongs to me. It does not belong to you, and it won't be belong to you in any time, because you do have to note one thing. I can legally, like this can easily become into a legal battle as well, due to what I read back when I was a student, back when I was in college. That was part of business law. So you have to be aware of that. If you're going to try to take it over and make it into your thing, I will have to look at it from that way, that okay, why are you saying that? And if it's not yours, it is not yours. And it won't be yours because I'm not in a favor of that. I've gotten, for some reason, I've gotten tons of requests that, okay, do that, make that under that, because I've had it, that's where people think it's theirs. But then again, that comes to the thing like when I was a kid. But that's not what it's about. Like, I don't like to say names and stuff too much, because that's just like wrong. But I've always been that kind of, I've always been like that. So I don't prefer giving something of mine to anyone, and particularly if it's something like this, because I thought when I signed up for this that I have creative freedom. If I don't have creative freedom, then I'm gonna have to say that no, you know what, this is not gonna work with me. Maybe I shouldn't be bothering with you at all. because this is what I feel. And then so like I said, that comes all into bullying and stuff later on. And I know people that actually do have a YouTube channel, they've actually do struggle with this. When I feel like, okay, there might be a YouTube kind of thing, look at it, that's not a YouTube kind of thing, that's something that's my thing. Because I don't know about how many people have in here have a background in it. Like, I didn't end up getting paralegal licensing, but as a paralegal graduate, which is not currently, you're allowed to give legal information, you cannot give legal advice. That's part of paralegal code of ethics. That I remember that reading that back then. I don't know how many changes there are in paralegal ethics that have been changed, but due to that, that's why I could still say this, because here's the thing. Okay, that it just looks like that about college. This is my thing right here from the time. So this is where I'm entitled to give. I can give you more information. I had to actually keep up with the news and all the time. And part of our learning was to discuss about different procedures and policies and bylaws and laws as a part of which case was actually going where, because that was a part of the way how professors taught. Yes, I've taken a lot of sociology and psychology things. That was one of them. So that was some of the things in there. Now, another thing is, like, I don't know why when it comes to money, but if it's about that, then no, it's how I'm doing the promotional material, why I'm doing it. That shouldn't be always be something for people to be curious about. I know what I'm doing, and I told, and like I said, I've been picked on about it all my life pretty much. So you could see how the budgeting is. I got refunded in some parts of it. But if you want to do promo teak, it's gonna be about $100 or $200 for the most. But if you get into like expensive things, like expensive, let me show you what I mean by that. Like if you get into, let's say, uh this, let's say this, the like that's just one of them. Although I do want to get a fan as well that says Hunyah Travels on it, like mini fans. Or another thing, like I could get you something that's like really expensive and stuff. Like let me show it to you what I mean. Like that's pretty much coming out of my own thing. That's pretty much out of my own pocket. I only use about 100, 200 for most out of my each check, because I do want to actually use about 1,000 for all my marketing and stuff. So on one thing I question on is that why am I doing this? Well, here's the thing why I'm doing this. Because this is what you don't know. Part of being a YouTuber, I'm not doing it for subscribers. I'm doing it for my passion. On that, I've also been picked on as well. Like indirectly, that okay, why? And that is from some people, I will not say who. But like that is actually where it's expensive. So I don't go on that for now, although I wish I can. But like what I'm saying is, like even if I show you, let's say there's another one in here. Like laptop bags, although I wish I could get those that say Hunyah Travels on it, but I can't. So let's just say this. So for some reason, people think that, okay, oh, I'm earning a lot. Here's the thing, I'm not earning that much. Like I do wish I can, but then I'm not. I'm not that I'm crying about it on this because it's the show that I do. So it's a new segment, but I've seen like literally people like being insecure of that many times. Now, I don't know the one thing is what is with it. I've dealt that with before, that why does everyone make it about themselves when it comes to my thing, when it's not, because it's clearly not. So that shouldn't be. But some of the struggles I pretty much ever dealt with was always being picked on. Now, I don't know, you could just say that I'm just saying it like that, but I'm not. Because there's a lot of people who I don't talk to at the same time, and there's a lot of people I do. Now it's the way you want to take it and stuff, but pretty much my struggles haven't always been easy. And just to finish off with the Hunyah show, so yeah, so I don't know what you have in your mind and whatever, but I just do these videos because I like to, and it's my skill. So my one thing I want to point out at the end, YouTube is supposed to be about creative freedom. If it's not about creative freedom, then I don't see why you are trying to say that, okay, it's not. I thought that was. And unless community guidelines send you an email about any of your videos, they can tell you how your video should be. Other people cannot, because sorry, they're not on YouTube. They do not know how YouTube works. They do not know how this whole thing works, so they cannot. So just to end off with the Hunyah show, these are some of my struggles. Watch and subscribe to Hunyah Travels and watch the Hunyah show. And this week I will be interviewing someone you'll see on this Friday. So thank you and bye.